Hello, my name is Tammy Kaufman. I'm in my 16th year of teaching at Manitowoc Public School District. I've been spent all 16 years at one school, Washington. I've taught 7th grade math, 8th grade math, pre-algebra, algebra, and math strategies. That last class that I just mentioned is a math support class that our department created when Wisconsin adopted Common Core. Our district adopted CPM, and we found after our first year of teaching CPM that we really needed to create some opportunities for support for some of our students. So we created a class. For the first couple of years, it was great, but we realized we were more supporting the curriculum and not the standards. So we searched out some opportunities and came across a group of educators in our area that was feeling the same way, and worked with them for a couple years. That group was called Get Math, and created a framework for math intervention, which also led then to me getting my master's, which I completed last summer. CPM has also offered many professional development opportunities for me. I was invited to be a part of their teacher research corps, and for a couple of years we did research on mostly geared towards growth mindset and teamwork and how to get kids talking about math. I also have had the privilege of having a math coach in my classroom every year. I enjoy that. I'm a verbal processor, and I feel like I'm a reflective educator, and I really like having someone in my classroom that can help me talk about what's going right and what's going wrong, and how I can make things better. We've also, as a district and as a department, have worked at creating learning targets, success criteria. We also have done training on questioning techniques, essential questions, and honing in on what we really want the kids to know. And then also formative assessment, which leads me to your second question about formative data and how it has specifically affected my instruction. I think that I use formative data every day, whether it's informal or formal. Sometimes it's just a thumbs up. It could be on a summative assessment. I might make a question formative instead of summative if I'm finding that most of them are struggling with it. That just is good information for me. Specifically in my classroom, I've used it in several ways. One way that I can think of specifically is helping a team. If I've seen them struggling with their conversation, I will do something called a participation quiz, where I'm diagramming out who's saying what and who they're talking to, and what they're saying, and just silently sit and create the diagram. And then when I'm done, I'll hand it to them and they can take a look at it. And then I'll come back after they've had time to talk, and we'll talk about the things they were doing right. What were some of their strengths, some of the things that maybe they could work on. So just to help them facilitate and be better team members. I also used it recently before we went virtual, specifically on scale factor. I did an exit question, and there definitely was different levels of understanding. So I regrouped on 3 different levels and created an activity, but 3 different levels of the activity. The lowest level had students who were really struggling. I had them still talk about similar and congruent shapes, but then also be working with scale factor, going from smaller to bigger. And then the next level, same ideas, but then adding that extra level of going from bigger to smaller and understanding what kind of scale factor would create that. And then the last level, all of that, but then added some elements of mistake analysis, where I maybe worked out a problem and then threw in a mistake, and then asked them to create some of their own problems. The last question asks about my experience with PLCs. I received formal training with PLCs this last year, and where we talked about always setting your norms and having goals and having an agenda. But I have worked with PLCs my entire career at Manitowoc. Every year we've gotten together as a group. We pick a group to work with, and we tackle a question, a thing that we want to work on to be better educators. And a lot of times it involves observing each other, videotaping each other, bringing student tasks and discussing those and grading those in student conversations. Thank you.